I plan to bookend this hour today with Rupert Evershead's latest Nature Notes, but I've had to hold that till next week because I wanted to focus on the needs of local school kids, and they're currently locked out of the classes and having to work from home, and the fact that so many of the families don't have the technology that is necessary to do that. And my guest today is going to focus on the work of a small group who are trying to overcome that particular problem. That's next on Local Life.
Albans Radio Verulam.
Akhtar Zaman is a trustee of a local organisation called Computer Friendly. It's a charity. So welcome, Akhtar. It's a long time since we've spoken.
Yes, it has been a while, and I'm really delighted to be speaking with you again.
I think before we get into the main topic that we're going to tackle, you need to tell us a little bit about Computer Friendly, what it does.
It's a non-profit organisation staffed with a team of unpaid volunteers and experienced volunteer trainers. And of course, we have a whole raft of backroom helpers. The charity has been delivering computer training in the community since 2002. To mainly adults who may want an alternative to more formal commercial courses. Our objective is to actually help anybody in St Albans district, including disadvantaged and excluded people, in gaining computer skills. In the past, we've worked with retired people, unemployed people, disabled people, whole diverse group of people. The great work of the charity was duly recognised last year with the award of the Queen's Award for Voluntary Services, which you may know is the equivalent of an MBE for voluntary organisations. I am sure, Rob, you will relate to this because your talking newspaper team received the award the year before.
Absolutely, and I also know how much work there is that goes into getting it. It's not easy. You don't get given it on a plate, so congratulations to Computer Friendly.
Yeah, thank you, and I think it's merited both for them and for you.
Obviously, Computer Friendly can't do, at the moment, thanks to COVID, what it was doing, because you can't have small groups of people in a small room, as it were.
Correct.
So it hasn't gone to sleep completely because you've come up with something that I think is absolutely fantastic, which is a much-needed solution to a problem. Tell us a bit about this.
Due to COVID restrictions, our normal mode of operation has been totally disrupted. Our drop-in centres in St Albans, Harpenden and Flamstead have had to close, and our scheduled courses suspended. What we've done is we have attempted to continue our support of the community with a number of initiatives, including remote support. So rather than people coming into the drop-in centre, they call an expert and get help on the phone. Some online courses, so we're making use of video calling, especially Zoom. So we're running some courses online through Zoom. And of course, we tried to create what we call a COVID secure drop-in Harpenden. And unfortunately, because of the tier changes, we're now tier 4 or 5, wherever we are, we've had to actually suspend that temporarily again. But as you say, we haven't actually stopped working. We've diversified our activities to try and refurbish or recycle donated computers for use by children for them to continue their remote schooling.
Now, this is a big issue at the moment. I mean, nationally, there's this real concern that hundreds of thousands of kids are stuck in environments where they either have no access to the internet because they haven't got the equipment or because they haven't got a signal. So what are you actually doing? And you're doing this locally, presumably?
Yeah. We're trying to do this locally rather than nationally. The demand, even locally, is so high. As you've already said, incredibly, even today, there are children who do not own a digital device or have access to the internet at home. And the government have said that they have actually given out over 1 million computers, but that doesn't even scratch the surface. I find it incredible that we are where we are in the age of digital, and we're having to try and make do. And so we're doing our part to help these people actually continue their schooling or to stay in touch with relatives.
Okay, so what are you doing? You're not giving your own computers away?
Last year, we donated over 60 devices to deserving causes for elderly who needed to stay in contact, unemployed, mental health charities and homeless people. There is a fantastic story of a young homeless lad in St Albans who who had an old smartphone, but its screen was badly cracked and he was unable to apply for his universal credit. June Chapman, who's the chief executive of Citizens Advice for St Albans District, contacted us, and we were able to provide a smartphone so he could complete his online application for universal credit and feed himself. So you asked whether we were giving away our own devices. In some cases, yes, our charity had some computers and we gave those away. However, we didn't have sufficient numbers. So the public have been very generous and they've given us some of their old devices to recycle and bring up to spec so we can then give them out to the school children. So far, in the current initiative, we have had 180 devices in various conditions given to us to refurbish and pass on to local schools. Out of those, I think about 60 odd we've already given out. So you can see it's a very quick turnaround. As word spreads, more schools are contacting us for help, and they're asking for anything from 3 devices up to 50. There is one school, they actually asked for 50 computers. So you can see there is quite a demand.
And that's because they know that there are kids in that school that have not got access.
That is correct, Rob. Yes. So what we've done is we've established a small team of volunteers to collect these machines, test them, refurbish them and deliver them out to the schools. I've given this team, or the roles within this team, names. So like we've got Donnas and Dons who donate these devices, Gordons, as in Gordon the Gopher, to go and collect these devices, Pats who do the portable application tests to make sure electronically and electrically they're sound, Bobs, they're the Bob the builders who ask, can we fix it? And of course the answer is always, yes we can. And then there's Dells who do the delivery of them.
Okay, but let's get serious again. What are you actually looking for? Are you talking about any type of computer or laptop?
What we're looking for, Rob, is computers that are less than 10 years old because they have to have the technology that's usable for the school work. So anything that's less than 10 years old, if it's got a camera built in, even better. And hopefully they've got the adapters so we can power them up. In terms of the discs, we tend to change the discs and either we clean them off or destroy them so the donors can rest assured of data security because we will destroy any discs which are in the computer.
Yeah.
We have contacted a company that do this for a living and they've agreed we can send them a certain amount of discs which they will destroy professionally. We add in new discs ourselves, new solid-state discs, which are much faster than the old ones, and where necessary, we add in more memory as well, so the machines will work with the latest applications.
So it sounds like you want laptops and not PCs, is that right? Not the old sort of big computers, you don't want those things?
We would prefer to receive laptops rather than desktop PCs. The PCs are bulky and difficult for the children to deal with, so we would prefer laptops. Schools prefer the laptops as well because they can connect to Google Classroom, etc. very easily using cameras and so on. But if you've got other devices like tablets or smartphones, they are also very useful as well because some people will not have internet connection. So if we give them a smartphone or a tablet device with a SIM, they can still continue to do the work they need to.
Fantastic. I've got a couple of old laptops, but I'm not sure what age they are. So are they any use to you?
The preference is if they are less than 10 years old, but if they're older, we may be able to use them for spare parts.
Okay, so ideally you want a working laptop that's got its lead, its power supply as well?
Correct, yes. obviously we're getting a whole bunch of devices and adapters coming through, and sometimes we can mix and match, but it makes our job a lot easier if you give the device with its power adapter.
Look, I'm going to put the word around Radio Verulam because I reckon there are an awful lot of presenters and other people who, like me, have got laptops they've forgotten about. They can dig them up. And also the odd mouse lying around and who knows what that we think, oh, that's no use to anybody. But actually here's clearly an opportunity where you can do something with it.
Absolutely. And I think that it's a great opportunity for people to do some good. I mean, like you say, I've probably got about half a dozen laptops in my attic that I've never looked at for about 5 years.
That's right, because you don't know what to do with them.
Exactly.
Nobody wants them, and they lie there for a long time, and then you think, what am I going to do? And you daren't take them to the dump because they're not safe. You don't want to give your disk away, the information that's on it.
Absolutely, and some people are frightened because they think, oh, there's personal data on my disk. And as I said earlier, rest assured that we will not give your data away. Either we will take the disk out and destroy it, or if it can be cleaned, then we will clean it. So you can rest assured your data will not be exposed in any way.
Sure, it sounds a fantastic project. I mean, one that is so timely. So we need to get a move on because the kids need it now. The kids are going to be out of school again now as they are till March. We don't know what.
Yes.
Who do they contact? Who do I contact? Who does somebody contact?
The phone number for Computer Friendly is 01727 617 359. 01727 617 359. Now, this phone is manned Monday, Wednesday and Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and it goes to answer phone at other time. Alternatively, you can use the dedicated email address to contact us, and that's recycle@computerfriendly.org.uk. recycle@computerfriendly.org.uk.
And now I'm going to guess that all this information is also on your website, which is computerfriendly.st.albans.org.uk.
Yes.
I think that's fantastic, Akhtar. It's a brilliant project. I really think it's just what's needed. So let's hope there's lots of stuff that comes flying your way.
Yes, Rob, I'm looking forward to people listening to your program and finding out about this and passing the message on to their friends as well. Right now, the demand is so great because, as you say, the government has already said schools are closed till mid-March. It could even go beyond that. The situation is always fluid and volatile. We need those devices right now, so the sooner we can get them, the sooner we can get them out to the children.
Brilliant. Thanks ever so much, Akhtar.
Thank you, Rob, and yes, and stay safe, everybody.
Those contact numbers again, telephone 01727 617 359 or email recycle@computerfriendly.org.uk. Well, I'm off after the show to find those two laptops, maybe even be three that I've got lying in a cupboard somewhere. I don't need them in there. I don't use them. I'm going to get them across to Computer Friendly. Let's do it for the kids.